everyone, welcome to the next session of Answers tutorial. Today I am going to solve a problem of thermal analysis. This is problem number 9 in series of the problems that I have been solving. Determine the temperature distribution in the wall shown in the figure and calculate the heat flow through the wall. This is a wall which has been given. Both the sides are steel, and in between the two steel walls there is an insulation. The value of thermal conductivity has been given for both the material. The thickness of the wall has been provided. The length of the wall is not given, so I'll just assume some random value. The temperature at one end is given as 0 degrees Celsius and the temperature at the other end is given as 20 degrees Celsius. I need to calculate the temperature at these interface. So let's start solving in answers. I'll go to steady state thermal and double click. I'll rename it as example 1. Right click on geometry, new design modeler geometry. This is the screen of design modeler. I'll first go to unit, millimeter, XY, look at. I have to make a rectangular surface. The dimensions are not given, so I'll assume some random dimension. I'll go to rectangle, dimensions, say it's 40 by 60, then I'll extrude. This portion is important. I have to extrude for 2 mm. And generate. So this is the wall that is required. I'll select this face, insert a new plane, generate, look at. I'll draw a rectangle again. I'll use constraints, coincident, just click on the two lines that you want to make coincident. That's it. This is my geometry. Again I'll extrude. The thickness is 4 mm. Apply. Thickness is 4 mm. Generate. On this face I'll make a new plane again. Okay, for the second extrude I have to choose add frozen and not add material, because the material for each slab is different. So on the slab now I'm going to click on new plane, generate, look at. I'll go to sketching, draw the rectangle, constraints, I'll use coincident. So this is my sketch. Again I'll extrude, apply for 2 mm, generate. So this is my simple geometry which is ready. Now I'll double click on model. While making geometry, I have assumed some random dimensions for the length and the width. You can assume any other dimensions. If you know the basic concepts of heat transfer, then the thickness of the material is more important because of the term dt by dx, which is temperature gradient over the change in length along, say, x-axis. So the length which I was changing, or the thickness which I was changing over here, was 2 mm, 4 mm and 2 mm. So just make sure that the thickness is correct, and that is the most important value. The height which you see over here, the length or height, whatever you call, and the width is not important for heat transfer. Those values can be infinitely more or less. They are not contributing to the heat transfer factor. I'll go to geometry. I'll first change my material, new material, okay. I'll create two material. First one is steel. I'll give isotropic thermal conductivity value, which is K. The value of K for steel is 55 into 10 raised to minus 3 watt per mm degree Celsius. So this unit I'll first check. I'll choose watt per mm Kelvin. Whether it's degree Celsius or Kelvin, it really doesn't make a difference. I have already explained this in my previous videos. I'll link the video where I have explained this concept. Please go through it. The value is 55 E minus 3. The value of K for insulation is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3. So I'll just create another material. I'll call it as insulation. Isotropic thermal conductivity, and most important is actually the value over here. Unit 0.1 E minus 3. I'll go to project, refresh project. I'll double click on model. I'll go to the first solid. Material is steel. For second solid, the material is insulation. Third solid will have material steel. I'll just align the body along the positive Z axis. Next I'll go to mesh. I'll change the sizing to fine. Update. Now I'll go to analysis settings. On one side, I'll give temperature 0, and on the other side, the temperature given is 20 degrees Celsius. So that's the only boundary condition given. Next I'll go to solution, right click, insert thermal temperature. It will ask for the surface, so I'll just select this edge, apply, right click, insert temperature. Again I'll select this edge, apply. I'll just click on heat flux and I'll select the geometry. The axis that I need is Z axis. Solve. So this is the first temperature which you can see. Heat transfer, when you solve this numerical, I'll just mention the temperature on this face is T1. Temperature on this edge which you see over here, this face, will be called as T2, as you can see now. This will be called T3, and on this edge, as I can say, or this face, it will be T4. So if you can look at this solution, T2, I get the answer as 0.018149 degrees Celsius. T3 is 19.982 degrees Celsius, and this heat flux probe is what I have got over here. This is showing me the value of small q, that is heat flow per unit area. So the unit is watt per mm square. Now it's showing negative because I have chosen the positive Z axis. I should have chosen the negative Z axis because heat doesn't flow from 0 to 20 degrees Celsius. It would flow from 20 to obviously 0. The value is what is important. I mean the magnitude. I'm getting negative value. The way I'm going to interpret is negative indicates that the heat is going from 0 to 20, which is not possible because it's along positive Z axis, if you can see. So the heat flow direction is always from 20 to lower value. Heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. So that's how I'm going to interpret the negative sign. Anything else? Okay, if you want to see the total heat flux, solve. So this is the total heat flux which you can see. It is actually the heat flux value which I have got, but here I am getting negative as I justified to you, and here I am getting positive value. So rather than choosing this heat flux probe, you can go for total heat flux. That will be better. Right click, insert thermal directional heat flux. Here I want to see this result as well. So this gives me a colored result over here, as you can see. I'll just change the orientation. It is along the Z axis. Solve. So as you can see, again it's giving a negative value because of the direction. So this is how you get the values. So that's all about thermal analysis. This is one of the numerical that I have solved for you. I'll be solving few more numericals. I hope you have understood this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your support is utmost important. See you in the next session. Thank you.